company pages. My name is Bobby Umar, and I'm here with my fabulous, amazing, wonderful, smart, insightful, generous, kind, compassionate, super fantastic friend, Brenda Meller. How are you, Brenda?
Wow. Did you have like a thesaurus dictionary or
Nah,
something?
I didn't.
It feels like a lot.
No, when it's you, I rattle them off so easily, right?
Oh, well, the feeling is mutual. I'm in the Bobby Umar fan club. We're selling t-shirts and coffee mugs next month. So we'll get you that done.
That's great. That's great.
You have like some TLB gear at this point, right? Like a merch shop or something, or what?
I only have my Anna cup, so
nice. I like
look how old it is. The kids are getting old now. It's crazy. Okay, so let's get down to business. So we talk about company pages. If you are listening into this conversation, we encourage you to comment below. Tell us know where you're calling in from. Are you from North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia? Comment below. Probably not Australia because they're probably sleeping. But
what time is it there right now? Is it like early night? I don't know.
It's probably like 6. It's probably 6 a.m. So maybe it's 3 people. You never know. And also, we want you to ask questions. Tell us about your company page. What do you do with company pages? Do you have a question about that? Great. We're going to talk about our topic today is 3 problems, 3 solutions. But before we do that, the traditional beginning. Brenda, go ahead.
Because you know what it is. And it's do you have these moments too where did you anticipate it in advance today and did you come prepared? Did you have all your homework done, Bobby? Because I did not have all
you know me, for sure I was prepared.
Were you? Yeah.
No, I did it last week though. It wasn't like I did it just now.
So let me explain for everyone what we're talking about because some of you might be like, what are they talking about? They got this whole backstory. So part of we're focusing here on company pages, and we like to make sure that people are using all of the features of the company pages that they give you. And there's this one great feature. It's if you're an admin on the right hand side of your page, it says grow your followers and you can invite connections. And LinkedIn will give us 250 invitation credits per month. And we always have a little bit of a friendly, I don't want to say competition, but it's like a show and tell, like how many do you have remaining? And part of the reason we do this is because it keeps each other accountable. And also it brings visibility to the fact, like we try to keep these credits going out too. So we have 250 credits that we can use. And today is the 9th day of November as we're recording this. I did use all 250 last month. I'll start with that. Now this month, right now, today, I'm sitting at 170 over 250. So that means I can issue 170 more invitations to my first level connections to follow my page out of the 250 they've given me. And I'm going to try to multitask to do this a little bit, and I'll see if I can get that number lower by the end of the call. How about you, Bobby? Where are you at?
So not to say it's a competition, but you did start this. Okay, so Brenda started this when we launched the Thought Leadership Branding Club's LinkedIn Mastery sessions on Clubhouse. And then her and Michelle Raymond were talking about this whole thing, and then they would challenge me to do this. And I started doing this while being in your rooms. And so that's how I started doing this. And now I do it very frequently. Well, what's interesting is the latest LinkedIn algorithm research from Richard Vanderboom talks about company pages and how effective it is to invite people. So that was actually kind of interesting. But I am at, and I'm even happy to share my screen if I can, but basically I'm at 2. So
2 remaining out of 250. That's good.
Well, and what
like golf, Bobby, like the low score is better.
And what I will say is this is the start of our topic too, which is the 3 problems and 3 solutions. I'm going to start by giving you a solution. So see what I'm doing? I segue nicely into that, right? So I'm going to share my screen here. So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you can see this. All right, there you can see my screen here. So this is my company page. So the solution I'm going to give you is actually how I invite connections. I think that, again, inviting connections is got to be pretty targeted, right? So for me, a big thing with targeting is I look at industry. So I'll pick industry first. Now I pick ones that I think would really care about my page. Now, I'm targeting people. This is for coaching and career growth and things like that. Now I have a lot of interesting people in the marketing advertising space because I used to work in brand marketing. So I'll often pick this one, show the results. And then I'll definitely pick location. And what I'll do is I'll pick a location one by one. So for example, I'm in Canada, right? So I might say Vancouver. Let me find all my colleagues who know in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'll show the results. And then I can go here and go boom, boom, well, I can't because I have 2. But I can scroll down and pick all the people that are in marketing and whatnot that are in Vancouver. And because they're in marketing and they may know my brand experience. And because they are Canadian, I probably will be able to find people that are far more targeted to what I'm doing. So for me, the solution I'm giving you is when you invite connections, in particular, you start with industry. I mean, school and current company aren't that great unless you're really trying to target a specific company. But industry combined with location is the way to go. In fact, and you can't do it location first. You have to do industry first. I don't know why that is. You pick industry and then you click on location to get a really targeted group of people from a specific area. And so every month I track who I've done, which city I've done, what industry I've done, and then the next month I'll do something a little bit different. So that's kind of my solution that I'm sharing with people today.
That's good. So that's the solution. So we're doing 3 problems, 3 solutions. Can I do a combo? Can I do a problem with a solution?
Yeah, I think so. Go for it. Why don't you go into your problem and then solution?
We can do anything we want, right, Bobby?
This is completely.
This is like when you don't work for yourself, when you don't work for a corporation, you don't have to check with the boss and the leadership.
This is the entrepreneur life, Brenda. Entrepreneur life.
Great. So here's the problem, and this is a problem I've been approached with several times. The problem is, how do you get into your company page if you can't figure out who the admin is? This is like what happens is companies create a social media page or presence, when the sites come up, or when honestly, Bobby, a lot of times when the first person thinks about it, they're like, oh, we should get a company page. And the person who set it up is the social media coordinator at the time, because nobody else wants to, they're like, go ahead and set it up for us. And then the social media coordinator changes jobs, because that's what we do. We change jobs every 2 to 3 to 4 years. And then a couple of years go by, and lo and behold, LinkedIn starts to become really important to our business. And we are looking and we're realizing there's a logo with our company on our experience section. And we click on that, we go to this company page. And it looks like the last time we posted was, 2016. Oh gosh, we can post on the page. And then they start to kind of figure out, trying to figure out who has access. And you ask around, you ask all the usual suspects, and nobody knows, because everybody's left the organization and moved on to different positions. So the problem here is, how do you get into the company page when you don't know who, you don't know how to get in, you don't know who has access? The solution, and there's a couple ways of doing this. And I'll give you the detective route, and then I'm going to give you the LinkedIn, route to doing this.
Do you want to share your screen, or you're okay just like this?
No, I'll just talk about this. So
sure.
The detective route is look on the company page. And what I would do is look at the earliest post, the very first post that was made on the page, and look at the time frame for where that was made, and then start to think about who was responsible, right? Yeah, with your magnifying glass. Who was responsible for social media or marketing at that time when the post was made, okay? Hopefully there'll be a couple posts on your page. Sometimes we have a page with 2,000 followers, nobody's posted, nobody knows the admin, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's assume there's posts on the page. Look and see when the time frame was done, and then try to figure out who was responsible for marketing or social media around that time. The second thing I would do is look and see who has interacted with the post on the page. Because let's be honest, Bobby, we in the social media community all do this. We post as the company, we create the post as the company, and then we exit out, we come back in as a member, and we like the post. And that's perfectly fine. LinkedIn does not discern between employee engagement and non-employee engagement. And to be honest, the general public, when they come and look at your page, they don't look at that and say 7 posts, oh, but they're all employees. Because not a lot of people spend the time looking at the likes and the comments and looking at the job titles that are associated. It's just like a quick, kind of thing. They look at it, they go, oh, this post got 7 likes and 2 comments. Okay, the party has started here, so now I'm going to like it and add a comment to it, and then the others start to come to it. So we as social media managers sometimes will help to kind of prime the pump, and we'll go in and we'll like our page post as ourselves. So look and see who was it that liked that first post, or maybe some of the earlier posts. Usually that takes you down the path of figuring out who it was that created the page. If not, if you ask them, if you say, Sarah, I saw that you liked the first post that we did on the ABC LinkedIn page. Did you create it, or do you know who did? Often you'll get Sarah going, oh, I did, and I forgot I'm the only admin on it. And they'll say, would you like me to add you in? And you'll say, absolutely, make me a super admin. And then you get into the page, you take over the admin, you remove that person. And then the next thing you do right away is you add at least 2 other people who are full-time employees in as admin, so this never happens again. So we always don't. And what I like to do is once a year, I advise my clients on communicating out that admin list to everyone. and sending an email and like even a screen capture, like here's the admins of the page. You are an admin on the page. That's why you're getting the email. If you have any questions about your role as an admin, let us know. Really, you're just there as a layer of protection so we know how to get in. So don't touch it. Let us know if you have any questions. And sometimes I might even say, click view as member if you want to interact as yourself, giving them the instructions. So that's the answer, Bobby, if you want to go inside the page and try to figure out putting your detective hat on. The other way is you can contact LinkedIn and you can claim the page. There is a form that you have to fill out, and it usually takes 24 to 48 hours in my experience to get that. You will have to have the employer linked into your company page. And it used to be, and I'm not sure if it's still the case, it used to be that you had to have an email address that matched the domain. So if they said, I want to get admin access to Meller Marketing, you will have had an email. You have to have an email that says Brenda at Meller Marketing.
Sure.
So you know that you're an employee. I don't know if that's still the case or not, but if it was me at LinkedIn, I would make that a requirement. So that's the problem. How do you get into the page when you don't know who is the admin? And the solution, I gave you 2 paths, the detective path or the going direct to LinkedIn path.
And that resonates a lot with me because I'm having the exact same problem with my business page on Facebook. And what's interesting is I'm because I do influencer marketing, and so they're trying to take my posts and boost them with my partner on Instagram as well. And for some reason, I can run the page and admin on the biz page on Facebook, but apparently I don't own the business manager that owns it. Apparently is also me. It's my company name, it's me, but I don't know how to log into that other one. And I've been talking to Facebook, and it's been so crazy.
Oh,
it's been taking 2 weeks, and now the influencer marketing company I'm promoting with, they're like, well, it's too late now, so we can't pay you for the boosting and the whitelisting of the. They're still gonna pay me for my work, my content, but the other part of the agreement was to allow them to boost the post, which is part of the contract. So I lost that, which sucks. So this is a good solution. Let's. I want to talk briefly about the algorithm report, because there's so much there to talk about. It came out. We probably should have spent more time talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it briefly. And I'm going to share my screen again for this one. Okay. So, and this is going to lead to my.
You're talking about the Richard van der Blom algorithm.
Correct.
Right.
So here it is. So Richard van der Blom's amazing algorithm research. There's a whole section. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages on company pages in this document. This is fantastic. But the thing to remember is that organic posts have dropped, and that's a bit of an issue for sure. And they mentioned all the different types of stories. Now, for me, the biggest problem I have on my company page is the organic engagement. So just like what happened with Facebook posts, what happened is now they tell us that it doesn't get shown to everybody, which kind of sucks. So posts from a company page are shown on average to 2.4% of your followers in the first batch. So even though I have 22,000 connection followers on my page, only 2.4% of them will see it, and that's why it's really hard to get organic traffic. So that to me is a problem. It's a challenge. It's one of the biggest challenges I've had compared to your profile, your personal profile, which gets far more attraction than company page stuff. So how do I deal with this? Well, you have to be creative, right? And so one of the things I've been doing, my favorite tactic that I try different things, like I try personal posts and I try polls and I try slider posts and things like that. Yeah, and Richard and his team did a really great job. So thanks for saying that, Stacy. Stacy's commenting on that, which we appreciate. Mm-hmm. How do I deal with this? The best tactic I've used so far is using LinkedIn news. So some of my posts, and I'll just show you. I can show you how crazy hard it is. So here's one. I use a LinkedIn trending news on side hustles, which I then post about, and I hashtag LinkedIn trend topics, and of course. Overall organic impressions, 80. So that one didn't hit, which sucks. Then there's other ones. Then my other one's 22 impressions. Like some of the impressions are actually quite 54. It's pretty bad. But sometimes one of the ones that you do actually does hit. And so here's a personal one on Halloween where my family did.
Yeah, and we know why, because you want to look at it. You're interested by it.
Yeah,
it's intriguing, right?
But again, that didn't really. Again, I'm not getting the organic traffic, but sometimes I do get it, and so I've got to find the one. There's one that really took off. I'm scrolling down because again, they're rare. So every once in a while, I get one that works. So here's one that was featured on. So we were talking about. It was talking about Halloween candies and whatnot, and the price of inflation and whatnot. And so this one all of a sudden a bunch of people started posting and started getting more impressions, right?
Yeah.
So that's a way for me to get some impressions by using the LinkedIn. Now, how do you find the LinkedIn things? It's really easy. You go to the right over here and you look at these things here and you think about what are the things you want to talk about, right? So for example, I'm Canadian, so the QP thing, I know what that's about. I may want to talk about that. Elon Musk, talking about that. Talking about Twitter for me is really easy because it's the hot topic right now. In fact, I'm working on a live stream to talk about it. But the solution is, again, use these news and look what people are talking about. Look at the hashtag they're using, and then take whatever article they're referencing, and then you put that in your post, and then you talk about it. And then usually what happens is the editor here at Sinclair, in this case, she might feature you on this page. And that's when people will then go to your company page and look at the link and start commenting. And I had one during the hurricane. I was just sharing some information. That one just took off like crazy. There was hundreds of comments, and that got tens of thousands of views. So that to me is one suggestion I make for putting together some great content for your page.
That's good. I like that. And a lot of people struggle with content too. And I feel like a lot of organizations get so stuck on its sales, they're putting sales content out and then they're going, why isn't this working?
Yeah, and the algorithm research says that that's actually one of the worst performing ones. So it says that. Let me reference that. Personal stories are a 9 out of 10. Employer branding personal stories are 7 out of 10. But when you talk about product service related content, it's 3 out of 10. So events are 4 out of 10. So they don't get as much traction, even though ideally you'd want that to be the main reason for the company page.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Do you remember a while back, I did an Employee of the Month feature on Meller Marketing? You probably remember that when we talked.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So this is a great idea for those of you that are self-employed. Right. So I'm going to pair a problem and a solution.
Sure.
How many are we on right now? We got one of each right now, or we got two of each? Where are we at?
I've got two. I've got one problem and 2 solutions, so I haven't given 2 other problems. So I got to track this. I'm going to try. I got to give 2 more problems and 1 more solution. So I'm going to.
Are we both doing like 2 each or 3 each? What are we doing here?
Yeah, we're doing 3 each, man.
3 each. Okay, so I'm going to do a problem and a solution paired together again. My problem is I'm not getting a lot of engagement on my company page. None of my posts are getting engagement. My solution, if you are self-employed, solopreneur, small business owner, maybe you're a entrepreneur like me who has an intern or a VA, but you're a fairly small team, do this. Feature yourself as Employee of the Month on your company page. We are proud to announce, we at Meller Marketing are proud to announce that Brenda Meller has been named Employee of the Month for November 2022. We appreciate her many contributions to our team, and we tag her in on the post, right? And then what happens when you tag somebody on a company page post is it goes out into the homepage. The people that are following the page are going to see that. And a portion of the person's first level network is going to see that as well. And then you post it with a really clever looking picture. I didn't do my stock photo, my headshot. I did my fun. It was like, my very expressive, fun, expressive photo. And I put that out on my company page. And then I went in and I commented as Brenda Meller, and other people congratulated me as well. And it was kind of like a little wink, like everyone knew what I did there. They're like, they know that I'm not a major team or an agency, but what it did do is 2 things. One is it created engagement, and in a very engaging way. And I'm playing on words here too. But, we don't have to take social media so seriously all the time, Bobby. I mean, it's okay for our company to have a personality. And I know a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs struggle with this. Do I need to have a personal profile, and do I need to have a company page and post on the company page regularly? And if I do, what do I share? Because I'm me. The company is me. I'm interchangeable. It's me in both places. And I always tell people, think about the company as an entity. That is an organization. It's you and your personality, but it's really from the outside looking in. People don't know that it's just you. Some people might think it's an entire team, right? And that you have an agency, or that you have, maybe they're bigger than you are. Other people know that it's just you. And you know what? If you do an Employee of the Month post about yourself, they're going to acknowledge, they're going to be like, congratulations, Brenda, well deserved. And that's what I got from people. And now I wouldn't say, Bobby, do this every month. I'm not going to be Employees of the Month 12 months running, but certainly something fun to try.
You deserve it, though. You deserve it every month to be the Employee of the Month.
I get like the parking space and the coffee mug.
I mean, you are the MVP, right? So I mean, I get that. Although I think that's an opportunity for us to do it for each other. Like, I mean, I think that, hey, Brenda Meller, like you're featured on my monthly live stream on my company page, so I should feature you as an employee of the month, or you're the employee of the month for the Thought Leadership Brand Club page. I mean,
right?
I don't see why we can't do that. Like, I think we should totally do that.
Anything again. The theme of today's call, in addition to the 3 problems and 3 solutions, is we can do anything we want. We make the rules as we go along.
Anything we want. I love that. All right. Well, I'm going to segue into I have 2 problems and a solution to give. So I'll start with one problem. So this is and I don't have a solution, but the problem is this. The latest, again, the algorithm report came out. One of the things I said was that newsletters are doing very, very poorly. We're talking 80% drops in engagement and awareness of when you first start out. And so one of the goals I had earlier this year was to take my newsletter that I have on my company page and launch it, because if I can get at least even 10-20% of the 22,000 to subscribe to my newsletter, okay, great, then I have that. But even now the newsletters aren't doing well too. So one of the challenges is newsletters, because I was hot and heavy with newsletters at the beginning of the year, but now they just get so little traction even on my personal profile that I've stopped doing them. For the most part, I'll do one probably at least at the end of the year to talk about trends or whatever it might be. But for the most part, it's not a priority that I have. So I think that's a challenge that the company page needs to figure out. I think that a company page newsletter actually to me makes even more sense than the personal profile newsletters. I think people who subscribe to a company page should get what they're being notified that they've signed up for. Same with a newsletter. So I think, in my mind, I understand the desire to I get business like Facebook business page, same thing. Like you have 10,000 followers, but they only show it to like 1-2%. So I think that there's got to be a way around that. There's got to be a place for us to engage those people. So I think newsletters and the overall subscriber follower aspect, I think, is a big challenge for company pages, and I hope they find a way to fix that sometime soon.
It's funny. Every time I talk about company pages, I read, like, I remember reading one about Michelle Raymond did a new company page newsletter. I'm like, I need to do one again. And I haven't done one for a while. And I don't want to say I forget about them, but when I first started publishing newsletters, it was on my personal profile. And I said, I'm going to do this monthly. And it was back in, you remember the days, Bobby, where everybody got newsletter access. And there was like a 2-week period where you got 1 million notifications. And I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not much, of follow this person's newsletter and follow this person. And I waited until all of the flurry died down, and then I launched my newsletter with the plan of doing once a month. Now I know that there is going to be a follow option coming onto company pages. I don't have it yet, so I can't really speak about it. But I think I'm going to wait to increase my newsletter frequency until that follow feature is available. My hope is that the follow feature will give, it's like that, I think it's like the bell icon that we have on our own profiles. It will give more visibility and bring more people back to the company page so that they're seeing those posts and those articles more often. Have you heard about the follow?
I have not. But I mean, I think for me, my philosophy was when I heard about the access, I went fast and furious to launch the same day. And I did it every week for 6 weeks, and it built it up really, really fast, because as I suspected, the later in the year, it just slowed down, and I started doing it every month, and there was less and less traction every time. So I'm not sure but we'll see what happens. And then I still have one more problem and solution. So do you want to go, or you want me to go?
You can go, and then I'm going to think of my last one.
Okay, so I'll start with another problem, and then I'll start with another solution, which are not related. So they're kind of related. So another problem I have is, because I have a personal profile, now company pages don't do as well in traction with a personal profile. Now I have multiple company pages, right? So I have the Bobby Umar one for coaching and online programs. I have a DYPB Discovery Personal Brand. I have the Thought Leadership Branding Club, although I have other people in the community are running those things. But it's hard to do all of them, and so I rarely use the other ones. I've decided to focus my efforts on company pages just on the Bobby Umar one. And the other ones, I don't do anything. I don't invite connections. I have automated posts, but nothing, I don't invest time in it.
Sure.
Now, the challenge is, how do you find the problem is, how do you find the time? Where do you go? How do you do it? And so for me, my overall way of doing it is saying the Bobby Umar, the personal profile is the overall thought leadership brand. The other one's all part of the umbrella brand of myself. and I try to focus on just the Bobby Umar one that I have. But it is a challenge or a problem to try to navigate these things, and if you have multiple pages. I'm grateful that on the Thought Leaders Brand Club, I have people like Melanie and Sebastian, other people who are helping manage that page as part of the community, which is great. And they help us set this up for us on a monthly basis, because we normally do it every second Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, but because of the clock change, we already had this set up, and the change.
Yeah, the time change thing was weird. It got everything wonky.
Well, what's funny is, daylight savings is already annoying enough, but other countries do it on different weeks. Like and then it's like that makes it even more confusing.
I think it's called World Time Buddy. I look it up. I had somebody request from the UK today. They said, "Hey, can you train our sales team? And here's the 2 times." And I looked it up, and it was like my time. It was going to be 3:00 in the morning, and I said no. But I know some people in the UK, and I could give you some names, and I'm referring it over to them right now. But yeah, it's the time change thing just throws us all off this time of year.
It's funny. It reminds the time I once did a presentation at 1:30 in the morning.
Did you really?
It was oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But
you obviously didn't go to bed, but were you exhausted at keeping your energy level up, or how?
No, I think I found a second wind when I got to it. I was like, all right, let's do this, and so I was just.
I had one once. It was 6 a.m. I had to be up and online, and that's like, okay, I just had to get up, another hour before I normally do,
right,
and be ready to go. And I had everything ready the night before. But we're a global world now, right, Bobby? We have to be ready for our clients wherever they are in the world.
Absolutely. And I'm going to segue into my solution for another solution I have. So it's kind of similar, but one of my solutions I have for creating great content and as a company page is actually inspired by something you said the other day, which was our previous one, which is commenting as your company page.
Yeah.
So you can easily switch to commenting on pages, but what works really, really well is when you find a viral post from somebody. So the other day there was a viral post from either a viral post or a post from an influencer that's going to do well. So whether Gary Vaynerchuk or Bill Gates. So there was a post by Brenda Brown about the election, right? The go vote. And so I decided to share my thoughts. I said, here, go vote. But I shared a political commentary about how Canadians view things in the US. And that thing exploded like crazy. All these people commenting. Yeah. Oh man. It's right at the end. Last time I looked, it was got 176 likes, and people are.
That was just of your comment on that post.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just my comment. Now that's a great strategy for a company page. You do that as a company page, and it gets attention to your company page and brings traction. Now I'm not saying go political, but even a very thoughtful comment that engages people and gets people's attention on a viral or influencer's post can go a long way, especially if you can do it quickly and be one of the first ones to be there. And if it's thoughtful enough, sometimes they might even pin it, and next thing you know, you get way more traction. So to me, commenting as your page is very easy to do now, and I highly recommend that's a great solution for building up your company page.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, and I think being careful with that too, because you want to be strategic. You don't want to be spammy. I have some people they spam tag you on the post, I have a strategy, and I have a blog that tells like what I do, and I have one person who's been tagging me in this post last week, and I've just been so busy I haven't had time to do it. But what I will do is I'll reply back and I'll say, "Thank you, Bobby, for tagging me in on your post. If you're interested in learning more about my LinkedIn strategy tips, join my email newsletter. Here's my tip. Or if you'd like to purchase my book, here's a copy of that link. Or check out my new course where you can learn more at this link." And I do that a little tongue in cheek. I don't think it's appropriate to push sales messages, but I also, if you tag me in, I know what you're doing. You're tagging me in to jump on my coattails to get some additional reach for your post. That's your game plan. I'm going to go ahead and jump in on your comments and sell my stuff. And I'm going to do that a couple of times until you go, gosh, that's kind of not nice. Not nice of her, but it's kind of odd that she's commenting and selling herself. And then you might go, right?
Now, are you presenting that as one of your solutions, or do you want to share one more problem solution?
Let me give my last solution, and I think we're going to wrap right here. So, problem solution, and I just did this during the call here today. Problem was, I don't have time to use my page invitation credits. That is a common problem I hear from everyone. Just about everyone. Probably 90% of the people I talk to about their company page, we look at their company page, and we see they have 200 out of 250 credits available, unless they've like sent a few out, and then it might say 247. You have no time. We all have 24 hours in a day. Can you imagine if we had 27? We all have 24 hours in a day. You can multitask. And there's sometimes you're sitting on a webinar where you don't have an active part. You can go onto your company page and send those invitation credits. Bobby Umar, I am down to 4 out of 250. I just pulled up a city I have not targeted before in the US.
There you go.
And I went through, and honestly, I didn't think too much about it. There were a few people where I said, I'm not sure where the life circumstances are with this person right now. I didn't invite them. There was another person who's a competitor, and we're not overly friendly. I don't think they'll accept it. They might be like, why did she invite me? So I didn't. But everyone else, I just went to and I just sent out 170 something invitations. So problem,
seamless.
You don't have time. Solution, multitask when you're on a call and get them out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in transit, or if you're waiting for the elevator, just boop, 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 invite people. Like that's an easy solve.
I tell people do 10 a day for 25 days. That's manageable. Just 250 in one fell swoop.
I personally think that's harder, man. Like I'm so distracted. For me, I invest the 30 minutes and just do it one time. Get it out of the way. That's my style. But do what works for you, right? So. We had some really great tips today. And again, make sure when you get a chance, if you have any further questions for us, all you got to do is comment on this page, or you can reply to the tweet, or you can comment. This is being live streamed on our company pages on LinkedIn. It's being live streamed on Twitter. It's being live streamed on Facebook business pages. If you have questions, just comment on them, tag us. We're happy to help you. We're here every second Wednesday of the month at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. And be sure to follow Brenda and her pages, Meller Marketing. Be sure to follow my pages. Be sure to check out the Thought Leaders Brand Club. And thanks, Brenda, for always having a fantastic conversation. It's always great to see you. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun, Bobby. I feel like I get to catch up with you once a month. I selfishly feel like I'm really grateful for this time, because I get the chance to chat with you and be online live with you. So I just want to thank you so much for that opportunity.
Oh, shucks. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to sign off now. Thanks, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Take care. Bye.